Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another, and I say this with the utmost sarcasm, riveting Let's Play of X4. So, I don't know what happened, but my game has decided to mark itself as modified. And I haven't installed any mods or done anything that would, well, cause it to become modified. So it looks like during this playthrough, we are not going to be able to do the venture system because, well, it decided that I did something bad. I also just found out about this menu. So there you go. I could have had ventures before, but I didn't know that that menu existed, so now I do. Um, but anyway, I did quite a bit of stuff off camera, mostly just sitting around waiting for money to build up. Um, Realizing that I am going to need to spend a lot of money on Claytronics, I went ahead and built up the 20 million to buy the Claytronics technology. I know. Some people are going to tell me, well, you could always use a bomb on a station and potentially get it that way. Yeah, but then I have to annoy a faction, and then I just rather I do it while I'm working. I got it running in the background, and I just ignore it, and then when I come back, I've got the money. So, I mean, there you go. Um, so yeah, I have completed the Computronic substrate factory. It's done. It is now producing. The microlattice factory is done. The silicon carbide factory is done. Um, I have gotten a lot of the components need. Oh, so here's how I did the Claytronics factory. It is mostly Terran because I am producing those parts now. So why use argon parts, which are going to cost me more money, when I can just produce using Terran parts? So I went ahead and built the majority of the supporting structures out of Terran pieces. Um, it'll work. So this is the outline for the Claytronics factory. It is a closed loop system, so it will produce every component that it needs to be completely functional. Um, I generally build them in fives, like I did with this hull parts factory. This is 5 hull parts production. And if I need more hull parts production, I'll just make a second one. These are complete and done once I do them. The other thing is for to each of these resource stations. So I've added an 8 medium dock to them because I'm going to start getting a lot of ships coming through there. This one, I also added an 8 medium dock because I went and purchased, I think, six new traders because things just weren't getting done fast enough. They're prioritizing some of the dumbest things. Um, yeah, I went out and bought. No, it was only. Yeah, it was 6. So numbers 5 through 10 are new. They're still being dumb. They're not doing what they should be doing, but that's fine. I'm gonna have a lot more bandwidth needs here soon anyway. There is another thing that I wanted to do. Sell offer. Wait, what? No. Wait, they'll do that? No. All right, I'm gonna sell all of them except for probably 7,000. That way I can get some of these parts. So all but 25,000. That way I can have some material stockpiled on the station in case it runs out of resources. But I can start getting resources into here. So I need to add refined metals and graphene. And then I need to add a buy offer, sell offer. Buy offer is going to be the max. And the sell offer is going to be the minimum, because these are all materials just, oh wait, no, that's, what am I doing? Graphene. Buy offer. Okay. We don't want the automatic pricing on that. And then sell offer. We want to sell it for the cheapest price. That way they don't get angry. All right, so that did it. And then we need to do the same for refined metals. Automatic pricing, create sell offer, automatic pricing, and lowest price. All right, so that adds those two there. What do you have in your station? You're out of hull parts. Okay. Oh yeah, because they're filling up this station now. So I found out Claytronics have been moved to plasma conductors and advanced composites as well, which is nasty, but okay. I will have to make do. I do have a plasma conductor factory over here. I don't have an advanced composites factory, but I could build one. Maybe I'll do that off camera. But yeah, the hull parts are being taken care of. I've put out a buy order for the Claytronics, so those are being stockpiled. And then once those are done, I will send a trader out to go and start grabbing up advanced composites and plasma conductors. Yeah. So it looks like all of the silicon carbide's already been delivered. And the Computronic substrate's almost done. Don't know why they're not delivering energy cells, because there's plenty of them there. But I'm just going to let them do their thing and come back to it. All right, next order of business. I believe I was in the middle of the boron storyline. But first things first. Where's that other... I'm gonna get captain for my ship. Because I need a captain for my ship. That way I can tell him to go fly somewhere and I can stare at my map, as I usually do. And I apologize if I've gone from one episode a day to every other day. I've been enamored with watching Food Wars in anime. I am just enthralled with. I'm catching up on 20 years of anime that I've missed. So it's been, I've been binge watching the living daylights out of Food Wars. It's such a good show. All right, so let's dock here.
Docking granted.
We're going to turn off.
Civilian ship A.
No, you're a criminal. You must perish. All right, now we can dock. I just finished the last episode of Solo Leveling. That is, oh my goodness, great show.
Successfully docked.
Upgrade, repair. We need. Wait a minute, I have a crewman? Huh? Okay, let me get up.
Mako.
I didn't know that I had a crewman on it. Well, that was easy.
Ma'am?
All right, done.
Thank you.
All right, Mako, take me to... Where am I going? I'm going up here. Shoot. I unselected my ship. All right, we're going up here. So I'm going to start having him deploy nav beacons.
Requesting permission to dock.
Because this is going to be part of the next task, is to plot a safe course. I've already done this quest before. But plot a safe course through the bad stuff. So we'll just drop off some nav beacons.
Entering system. Atikva's choice.
While we are on our way to the gate. Okay, that should do it. And I think I have enough nav beacons on me to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I got enough. Okay. So this should be a safe course for
Entering
the
system.
next
Morning Star.
portion of the quest to get through. Whoops. All right, so it is getting the parts. Still don't know why you're not delivering energy cells. There are plenty of trade ships that aren't doing anything. You're all sitting right
Entering
here.
system.
You could be
Heretics
going and
end.
grabbing energy cells. You're not disabled. You're not disabled. None of you are disabled from doing energy cells. What are you banging into?
Thanks for your help.
Ma'am?
Oh my gosh. Did you get stuck again?
Want some more?
How on earth did you get stuck? You have got to be dumb. All right, try that
Mako.
again. Work.
Say goodbye.
And it was in my own... Oh, he got caught on the station somehow. Are you gonna do it again? Okay, good. The AI, I swear. I don't know what you guys are doing, but there are energy cells. You're a big ship. Go grab energy cells. And go drop off the energy cells. I'm just gonna grab... There's 3 million of them sitting there. Now, there's another way to get the Claytronics and hull parts without building one of these giant factories. And that's to do scrap processing, but the
Entering
power
system.
requirements to
Watchful
do that,
gaze.
and it alternates between hull parts and Claytronics, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of them. And then the amount of power you use to do that is just absurd. Unless they've balanced it better. When I last used it, it was not worth the conversion. It was novel and it was fun, especially when you build up your own shipyard with blueprints from competing factions, and they start blowing each other up. And then you could just take the ship scrap from the wrecks and turn it into whatever you wanted. It was fun, but yeah, when I had 2 or 3 solar power plants producing just massive amounts of power, but right now that one solar plant's gonna have to power all the stations in the sector, so I'm just gonna build a Claytronics factory that can produce 5 modules worth an hour, and then use that to build up the rest of my stations. It seems like the best option, and that's the option I've pretty much always used. I still need to go fix my faction with the Zyarth Patriarchy. But I need to stop watching anime to do that. Dude, you are a terrible pilot. You have run into almost
Mako.
everything under the sun, and you can't fly through an asteroid belt. Terrible pilot. He is a 1-star, so I mean, I can't be too mad at him. Okay, I need my mission set to active. I know that's not a cock hive, but that looks like one right there. It's just rocks, but looks like a cock hive. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the next part of this mission
system, barren shores.
and see what kind of time we have left. I did have to start selling off some of my Cigaris goods to get the money to build up to buy the Claytronics. I was in a hurry. Got to lunchtime. I took my time off for lunch and looked over, and I think I was 2 million off, so I set the silicon carbide and Computronic substrate to sell, and it went like hotcakes. Like everybody was trying to buy it. It was 2 to 3 million in the bank in seconds. I still had probably 20 or 30 orders
system,
queued up
Great Reef.
when I turned it back to my faction only, which then, you know, killed those orders because they aren't going to buy it if you're not selling it. I think I still have a big line of trade ships sitting over by my factories. I'm really stingy with my materials.
Entering system, Sanctuary of Darkness.
I need this guy to pilot. Because he's gonna lay down beacons.
Entering system, Great Reef. Mako.
Ma'am?
Alright, so now proceed. Hopefully he doesn't get into a fight with that cock ship. Otherwise, I'm going to take control and get out of there. And come back with a bigger ship, I think. This Mako is not
Entering system, Sanctuary
not
of
good
Darkness.
for fighting. Oh. Why is a boron construction ship coming through here? That's odd. He's wrecking that hive guard, though. I will say this, even though they're locked to their weapons aren't totally awful. Not awful at all. They're just not as strong as the plasma cannons from the Argon, Talati, and all those guys. They're not very good against Xenon ships, but maybe I just don't know how to build a boron ship because I looked at the weapon. Maybe I'm just biased. For a long time, I was trying to fight the Xenon with pulse lasers, not realizing that they were absolute pants for dealing with Xenon ships, especially Xenon capital ships. They're not bad for dealing with the smaller ones, but capital ships, you can't use them. Then I tried missiles, and they work, but they're expensive. I tried torpedoes. They're inaccurate. Smart missiles, again, expensive. And then I found out that plasma cannons or plasma turrets just absolutely shred them. So I've put plasma turrets on just about everything that comes with Xenon. It comes in contact with Xenon from then on. They're just, you can't beat them. Now there's some medium ship weaponry that's pretty powerful, but I mean, once you get access to what's that ship's name? The Terran capital ship. It's just funny at that point. It's just absolutely hilarious. It melts things like butter. And then the Earl King too. The Earl King is gnarly. Especially when it's fully complete. Speaking of, I need to do that mission at some point. Get the Earl King. Why are you losing shield? You should not be losing shield. I'm hoping that this is safe. What is that? Oh, that's just an asteroid. Why is there a special asteroid? Have I looked at that before? Maybe I'll have to go back and look and see what that is. Yeah, there's quite a few quests out there. I don't know if it's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I tried setting up stations out in the tide area, and the ships just aren't smart enough to go and hide when the tide runs through. So I think I loaded into one of my saves and I had some stations set up, and a tide came in. I saw 4 ships just blow up, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to count those as a loss and write those stations off, because it's not worth it trying to supply them. Because the AI for the ships just, they don't run away from the tide or go dock or whatever. It's whatever. There are so many other ways to make a profit than worrying about losing ships because of that. Plus, you have to go and you have to get the condensate. You have to make a condensate or a storage facility. Distributing, that's what it was. I had a condensate distribution factory that I was using, trying to make money off of selling condensate, and those ships just kept getting blown up. So it just wasn't worth it for me in the end. They don't run away. All right, so we got some of the nav beacons down. And then the VIG, they're only useful until you get all of their ship and module blueprints, and then I just write them off. I'm not even worried about them at that point. Especially when they start getting mad at me because one of my trade ships accidentally went through their turf carrying ice. I still need to load up my save and show you just the sheer... I'm sure other people have more trade rules than I did, but I think I had a good 4 or 5 scrolls of the scroll wheel worth of trade rules at one point. It was nuts. Alright, so this is a safe route. He hasn't lost shield except for one time, and that was minor. That's why I wanted him to do it, so I could watch the shield depletion and not have to keep flipping back and forth between the map and or the ship menu, which I still need to remember how to open because I've forgotten. All right, so one more nav beacon and then I can go and do the scanning on the gate and continue this story. Come on. Once he's done, I'll take over. All right. Give me my ship back.
Jump gate.
Scan mode. How close do I have to get? There we go.
Each jump gate has 2 pairs of nacelles. They act as caches for storing operational data, among many other things. They're still not very familiar with this technology, or who created it, but thanks to recent scientific advancements, they're able to make sense of some of the information that we are retrieving. It seems apparent that some of the data likely represents the coordinates of other jump gates. Whether this means that these gates were connected in the distant past is mere conjecture. Perhaps the builders had reasons unknown to us for certain gates to hold special compatibility. The vast majority of the data in these caches remains a vexing mystery to us all.
I'm wondering if they're ever going to talk about who made these gates or delve into that part of the story.
Everything we can access from this nacelle. Move on to the one on the opposite side.
Okay. Halfway done.
Yes, some of this data looks rather promising. I'm forwarding all of this to our science team as we speak.
Yeah, there's so many quest lines to go through. It's unreal. Oops.
Oh my! I'm picking up a worrisome fluctuation in energy signatures.
Run?
Danger.
Run? Oh, that's right. I have to fight these, don't I? Ugh. Yeah, I have to
Forager.
fight these. Good Lord. I'm gonna try and get far enough away.
Forager.
Come on, die, you ugly thing.
Forager.
I'm not worried about that stuff. I could definitely do with some better weapons. Alright, that's 2 down, 1 to
You
go.
fought bravely, Explorer.
Oh, okay. Time to bail.
Yes, your display of skill was altogether impressive. I just hope this commotion does not result in a more severe and unwelcome reaction.
Our science team has pored over the data that Mila team was able to live from cache. While we have not yet completed our examination of the Sanctuary of Darkness cache, it is quite obviously the most promising of the gates. Despite the additional challenges the Ka'ak will represent,
Or dangerous, perhaps. But I'm afraid that things are not going well in Ocean of Fantasy either. The system's planet is devastated and completely uninhabitable.
perhaps, once the provinces have re-established their economy, they can attempt some terraforming. For now, this expedition needs you to map out a safe passage for a larger fleet to navigate through Sanctuary of Darkness. You can use nav beacons to determine an appropriate route. Just stay clear of the Ka'ak installations.
I've already done that.
And other hazardous regions, obviously. For a better overview of the task in hand, do not hesitate to consult your map. It appears you lack sufficient nav beacons. You can acquire them at any wharf, shipyard, or
I've already done it.
dock. I believe we passed your wharf at the Great Reef as we made our way to the system.
Why aren't my guns working? Oh my gosh. Tutorial thing knocked my guns out. Nice. I swear, my aim is not this bad normally. I was playing World War Z Aftermath with some friends and was just absolutely wrecking that game. My aim's not bad, but for some reason, it is here. All right, maybe I just need to put down another nav beacon. Billion nav beacon. There you go.
Yes, looks like you have found a route. Nicely done, Explorer. Everyone, move in.
Oh, that's right. I
Now establish a
can't
scientific outpost.
pick it up because it claims them.
The most fruitful phase in our journey together.
You know, for the longest time, the community of planets thought the Karg had been eradicated by their joint efforts. Recent attacks on solitary miners, and now this, prove this notion was overly optimistic.
All right. I still got some time. But I'm just going to hang out here by this gate and wait for them to show up. Wait. Oh, it's gone. Oh, that's because I have to wait for them to actually show up. A new quest will come up later. All right. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to tell this ship fly,
Ma'am?
fly, 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 fly. I could do it myself, but why do it myself when I can have the AI do it for me? And I can focus on other things. Okay. Yeah, I think I just have to wait for them to show up in the sector, and then a bunch of other stuff's gonna happen, and then, yeah. Let's see, that's the Terran storyline. I guess I could go get my promotion for Alliance of the Word. That honestly wouldn't be a bad thing. I could start building oh. I didn't realize that he had a shipyard here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, after the AI gets me out of here, I think I'm gonna head out to ALI, get my promotion there. That way I can start buying military ships from them. Wonder how I got promoted. I haven't been trading with them.
Mako.
Have I? I mean, I'm at +10, so somewhere I'm trading with them, but
Danger. Hazardous region detected.
what are you doing, idiot? I said stay in the red stuff. I don't know if the purple counts. Maybe. But, I mean... Oh, there they are.
Mako.
So I'm gonna be lazy.
Wayfinder.
and dock. Oh, maybe it's because completing this quest. You get, I forgot about that. You get some reputation for doing that.
Out of docking range. Danger. Hazardous region detected.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Docking granted.
We've established a perimeter around the inactive jump gate. Now we are commencing the construction of an outpost. Do not elevate your hopes quite yet. Experimentation shall begin soon, but jump gate technology is very alien and highly volatile. We do not know for certain whether we can ever successfully force a connection, particularly without real-time coordination with our Kingdom and counterparts. Nonetheless, we have an ideal candidate gate for experimentation. The Alliance of the Word has an obligation to our cousins in Kingdom and to try our utmost. These technological marvels have eluded our understanding to date. Something about the interfaces remains stubbornly out of reach. The final spark. In any case, Explorer, congratulations. You have performed your part, and you have done so unimpeachably. We will keep you updated on our progress in the coming years. And, if fate wills it, you may one day find your name in the annals of the great explorers and scientists.
Years. Bozo Ta is going to have something to say about that. I'm just going to hitch a ride with him. He can fly through the garbage without getting impacted. I don't know why he went to this beacon. Alright, where are we at here? Cool. So all the energy cells have been delivered. I should be able to get most of the Claytronics. The hull parts are coming along slowly. You have none in storage. What are you delivering? Oh, you're going off to get silicon carbide. Okay. So, yeah, we just have to wait for the hull parts and the Claytronics to get delivered, and then, yeah, see, there it goes. And then I can go out and find the plasma conductors and advanced composites like I did before, and just go off and buy those piecemeal. All right. So, I think it's just... Oh, here we go.
You must forgive my absence in your most recent exploratory endeavors. It is just... I have been somewhat preoccupied with my own observations. When did Numankaret say the Alliance of the Word plans to conclude their experiments?
Well, the expedition leader did suggest that he would keep us up to date over the coming years.
What? Years, you say? That is... Oh my, that is rather disappointing. I had hoped to contribute to their experiments right away. Well, since you are already running errands in Roran space, would you mind assisting me in my personal research? Ever since my tentacles first grasped the scientific equipment in this research installation, I have been utterly fascinated by the Great Reef Nebula. Even if that pesky Sagaris Pioneers vessel is complicating accurate measurement collection at the moment. You see, I have identified several neutron stars, magnetars in fact, which pulse in an oddly specific way. One could be an anomaly. Two might be a coincidence, but I have already identified a potential third. I need you to verify my observations, independently. To that end, I have compiled a list of positions in Great Reef that I need you to visit. Please do forgive me if I appear somewhat excitable. There is a chance that
Always
this could
excitable.
point to a discovery of immeasurable significance.
Also, Tar has informed me of your exciting plans. You must let me accompany you. In fact, I will not take no for an answer. The Alliance is in the midst of their preparations. I have to say, the deluge of scientific jargon leaves me cold. I much prefer action.
Okay, and that promotion right there allows me to buy the big, huge Terran capital ship, which is big time. That ship can pretty much obliterate most things. It's beautiful. Anyhow, I think that's all I have time for in this episode. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I don't really have a whole lot to do off camera at the moment. Our big goal is getting this station up and running, and I can do storyline stuff while I wait for this to get built or get the parts I need. So yeah, or get the money that I need to continue building it. I'm already at 11 million out of the 38. So it's gonna come quick. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Later.